Right. How are you? First of all, I had to compose myself because my phone was playing up a little bit and I'd made the announcement I'm going to go live. Kept telling me that there's no internet connection. I know I've got full-blown data, so I don't know what it was going on about. Anyway, I wanted to come on today to really speak to you about a few things that are upsetting, possibly triggering for some of you, but also just things we need to be mindful of as business owners, particularly as we're on a journey of growth and we're wanting to explore ways that we can develop our brands and our business to get better results, right? Now, I had a conversation this morning, and it was a few hours ago now, with a young lady who has had an experience, let's just put it that way. And I'm not going to go into it too much, but I do want to say to any of you who are thinking about investing, when it comes to investing in your business, when it comes to investing your time, when it comes to looking for a coach or mentor, if you're thinking about, new ways of working and you're looking for individuals or companies to be aligned to, do your checks, all right? Because I'm going to share with you this afternoon the conversation that I had, or elements of it, that I hope will inspire some of you to make more informed choices. So if it's the first time you're watching me, let me just tell you, this is not going to be a long and drawn out conversation, but it certainly is going to be one in which I'll be talking to you about things you can look out for, markers you might want to make or put against names or particular business owners before you invest with them. And this is just words of caution rather than shouting out any particular expert or group or company. Because this morning I had a conversation with a lovely lady who hasn't yet registered her business. She booked in a call with me, and I'm quite keen to speak to different types of business owners, but for me, I really enjoy speaking with business owners who are ready to make decisions in their business. And this lady was lovely. As I said, she booked on the call. She really wanted to get information from me, and one of the first questions I asked was, how are you getting on in your business? And she replied and said, my business isn't registered yet, I'm going to be taking a course. And it was really weird because in the same conversation, as we do, you ask questions, I then managed to learn that this same lady has just paid nearly £1,000 for a course in ClickFunnels. Now, the reason why I'm shocked and alarmed is because this is the fourth conversation I've had, and it's only Wednesday. The fourth conversation that I've had with someone this week where they have spent money, not really thinking through the money that they've spent, but looking for some kind of miracle or return on investment. Now, the thing is, if you're in business and you're in business to make money and you invest in a course or you invest in a program or you invest in a trainer or a coach or a mentor, you should be really clear from the beginning why you're investing in them. So to me, the challenge that I had in having this conversation with the lady, in fact, what I was really confused around is why on earth we as business owners sell things to people that they're not ready for. Now, I would never sell a product or service to someone who hasn't even registered their business yet that is, a value of over £800. Okay, that's how much she spent, over £800. Bearing in mind she has not registered her business and she's got an ongoing rental that she has to pay as a result of buying this particular training and the product that came with the training. She's got an ongoing rental with that particular product that she bought for over £800. Now, when she was speaking to me, I was really baffled, because I'm saying to her, well, I wouldn't want to speak to you or work with you until you're clear on what you're doing, because clearly, in my opinion, some of us, including this lady, make decisions when we're vulnerable. And many shiny objects will be presented. Many individuals will tell us they can get us results. But there are also, unfortunately, I have to put it out there, individuals and companies that will take your money regardless. Individuals and companies that will say to you, buy this, or this is for you, even if they know you are not ready. And this is one of the things that separates my brand from other individuals, okay? And it's also one of the things that separates my business and my courses that I do and my coaching that I do from other companies. Because the thing is, the lady wanted me to do work for her paid, and I told her, I don't want you to pay me until you're clear, first of all, that your business is registered. Secondly, on what you're doing as a business so that I can help you navigate my area of expertise, which is branding and marketing. Now, if you've been sold ClickFunnels or a product that you're not even ready for yet and you've paid for it, and then you've then got an ongoing fee to pay because you paid for that training, and by the way, I do want to say she also said she was not handheld. She was literally sold the course, thrown into a Facebook group, and left to build her own funnels on her own, right? And why I'm shocked and upset is that, as I said, it's the fourth individual that's told me this week. Not about this particular course, but about this particular scenario. I am not sure why so many of us are unable to make informed decisions. Now, everyone's in their own stage in business. Some of us will have the shiny object syndrome where we need to buy absolutely everything that's dangled in front of our face. But I want to share with you some very quick pointers that I know will help someone today in regards to making decisions in your business. Now, if you can hear me, can you give me a number one? Because what I wouldn't want to be doing is yapping away, and either you're getting really bad reception, or you can't hear me, or my sound is going in and out. So just give me a number one, first of all, to tell me you're not sleeping and that you can hear me okay. And I'm going to get into some tips for various ways that you can actually get better at making informed decisions in your business, particularly if it relates to making an investment. All right, okay, I can see some ones, that's good. And where are you watching from, by the way? Let me know where you're watching from. So as I said, it's a very straightforward video today. I just want to share some tips based on conversations I've had, 4 of which I've had this week, right? And the first point I want to make is understand what you want to try and do in the next few months. Get clear on what you are trying to do in the next few months. Doesn't matter what comes out, because some of you have gone off and created courses and you're not even sure what your offer is. Some of you have gone off and bought training courses and programs for things that you're not even ready for yet. All right. And as I said, the lady that I spoke to this morning, she had purchased a product, a training program to build funnels. 6-week program, cost her over £800, she said, and she was thrown into a group, Facebook group. She's asking questions. She said nobody's answering the questions when she's asking them, and on top of that, she's now committed to a contract with ClickFunnels through the program that she bought. So she's wasted quite a lot of money, and I use that word waste strategically because we have to understand here, right? Many of us are spending money on things that we can't afford because we think we're going to get better results. Many of us are spending our time with people that we feel can genuinely help us because we really want to get better results. How many of you are out here in that situation? You want better results, so you're spending time in communities or with individuals or with companies or at meetings or on summits and webinars that you genuinely believe will get you better results. Well, I'm going to share with you again on my little McDonald's napkin, a few pointers that I know will help you if you're currently in business and thinking about investing, because I really do get annoyed because I turn away business. Let me be honest with you. This morning I've turned away 2 clients, okay? And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or, boast, but I am that secure in what I do. And I also feel that when we're so desperate for money that we then become unethical in the way that we work, that we'll sell to anyone regardless of where they are in their business journey, that doesn't sit well with me at all. So I got really upset when this lady shared with me that she'd spent over £800 on a ClickFunnels course. Her business is not yet registered, and she's now committed to this Facebook group, and she's now paying a monthly fee of $97 US. And I said, but your business isn't registered. Now, I don't know who she went to, and I wouldn't even divulge if I did know who it was. But what I can say is there are many sharks. There have always been many sharks, but right now the sharks are out to kill. If they smell your blood and you haven't done your checks, they are out to kill. Because people are in a state where if they themselves are desperate, they will sell to anyone. And in the case of this particular lady, she was sold a product. She hasn't even got a registered business here in the UK yet. Are you hearing what I'm saying? She was sold a product. She's not even got a business registered here in the UK. Now that means that whoever sold her that product was either not doing their checks in terms of who they work with, so that to me tells me that they're not even, running their business the right way, or they are that unconcerned about who they work with that they'll take money from anyone. That's not a good look, is it? Let's be honest. Someone said that's awful. Someone else says likewise, I turn away potential clients as they're not ready. And the thing is, you also get the reverse of that. You get clients who feel that they're ready, and they'll come to you and say, yeah, I'm ready. And you can sense they're not ready. I think in this lady's case, she really genuinely believed she was ready, but what she was sold was not what she was ready for, because now she's actually doing a business course next week. Do you see how we do things in reverse? And all I want to share with you is some very quick pointers. All right. First of all, get clear on where you are in your business. Let's stop making decisions on the cuff when we're high on emotion, when we're on the end of that call. Do not feel that you have to buy something straight away. One of the things I always say to individuals, in fact, I've said to about 4 people this week, is no rush, no problem. And you know what? In most cases, the right people come back. I don't think we need to be, as entrepreneurs or business owners or companies, that desperate for money that people feel hounded by us, right? So as consumers, because I'm a consumer as well, I've invested in a coaching program that's nearly £700 a month that I'm paying right now. We have to make informed choices. So the first way you can make an informed choice is to decide where you are in your business and what you want for your business. That's the first thing, right? If you're making notes, you can take notes with me. First thing is to decide where you are in your business and what you want for your business. Because the other thing I want to say to you is a lot of us are signing up to courses, programs, events, modules, training programs, where the people that are teaching us have no experience beyond reading off of a textbook or a few programs on Google. And that's not me calling anyone out, but that's me saying, if you're going to spend money to learn how to do something and you've got a question, if you're spending money, you want to have that question answered, right? Without someone needing to go away and navigate their way around YouTube or Google or a textbook to give you the answer. And again, I'm not slating anyone who works in that way. That's just not the way that I work, because obviously everything I have is stored up here. And if I do need to go away and find something out, I've got no qualms with saying that I need to go away and find something out, rather than pretending that I know it all and making myself look very transparent and obvious that I don't know anything. All right, so the other thing is experience. Look at their social proof and evidence of experience. If they've got good reviews, if they've got people saying that they work really well, that they listen, that they're attentive, or whatever it is you're looking for in your coach or mentor, make sure the social proof evidence is that. Again, what I know for a fact is that a lot of people in industry are very good at saying what they've done and who they've worked with. And, you know, when you scratch below the surface and you ask for the evidence and the results, they're not necessarily the results that you're looking for in terms of what you want to do in your business, which might be get actual money in your business, which might be to generate leads to your website or create a campaign. And I know, because I've heard, and people come to me and other people's clients come to me, that many of you are being fooled into situations where you feel you're getting a really good deal. And so that's why I'm doing this video today, because I want you to be more clear on what you're doing before you invest with anyone. And that includes me, because I don't care. And I say it all the time, if you've been watching my videos for long enough, you all know I really am not bothered if you invest with me or anyone else. I'm more concerned that you make the right decision and that you get results. That's what I'm about, okay? So I'm not here to try and fight with anyone about getting their money or getting their clients. I'm more about my clients or people that are aligned to me in my community, seeing where I can add value and then making a decision on whether or not I'm for them. And I'm not going to be for everyone. And that's absolutely fine. Because the people that work with me, who I am for, listen to me, implement on their own terms, at their own pace, and get results. Another point is to look at where the person that you're going to speak to started their journey. So if you are trying to get coaching advice or mentoring from someone, or even business support services from someone who hasn't necessarily walked the walk that you've walked or the path that you're walking on, that should ring alarm bells. Because what happens is you then start to take advice from someone who started on a business loan, or who started on a favour from a friend, or mama and papa are giving them a loan or a grant, you know, and your journey would be very different, or maybe very different. Maybe you've got, you know, a very small budget. So therefore, advice you might need around working on a small budget, you're not going to necessarily be able to get in the way you need to get it beyond textbook marketing from an individual or a company. Another point is vanity metrics. I think a lot of us, good morning, a lot of us actually fall into the trap of looking at vanity metrics as an indicator of someone's success. And I've been saying this for a long time. I have. And many of you would have now been stung by this. Vanity metrics do not mean much. People can buy comments, people can buy likes, people can buy friendships, people can even buy their way into communities, right? So if you're going to look at someone in terms of mentoring or support or a group or a program, go beyond vanity metrics, because actually what's more telling is whether or not they get the results that you need, right? And also their readiness to work with you and coach you based on where you are at right now. Because there's no point you know, joining a program or a course, as I said, including my own, including Vee Roberts' courses, if you know that at this point in time you're not ready. There's no point, because you're not going to get the value for money. You're going to end up being frustrated. You'll probably walk away saying, oh, that was a load of rubbish, wasn't worth the money. And that is why I pre-qualify clients rather than having an open door where everybody can join. It's not an exclusive thing, but I think it's definitely, for me, something where I'm very confident the people that I work with are of a certain caliber, right? So you can call me a business snob if you want to. I like to work with people that are ready to make decisions, that feel that they've made the right choice to work with me, rather than you've been coerced to work with me because I've dangled some kind of shiny carrot and told you that it's something you need to chew on. So if you're just joining me live now, I'm sharing some really quick tips based on a conversation I had this morning with a lovely lady who just came to me off the cuff, found me on the internet, and she said, Vee, I want to work with you. Ready to pay. She said, how much do you charge for X, Y, Z? And I said, whoa, let's ask some questions. And as I said, when I asked her the questions, we found out she'd paid over £800 for a ClickFunnels course she didn't need. She's still paying for the ClickFunnels course that she didn't need because she's got an ongoing rental, even though I'm sure she can cancel at any time, although I didn't check that with her. But, I said, no, I wouldn't work with you right now because you need to get clear on what you want. But my point is, the person who sold her that ClickFunnels course was clearly not that bothered. And I'm sharing this today because I know a lot of you are working or considering working with coach sharks. Could I call them that? Give me a number 2 if I could call them that. There are coach sharks. Can't even pronounce it properly. It's that bad of a foul word in my mouth. There are coach sharks and there are mentors and there are companies that will happily take your money without having a discussion with you. There are coaches and there are companies and there are groups who, and I'm not, disqualifying automation, because if it's right, go for it, buy it. But there are conversations sometimes that we need to have, aren't there? Let's be honest. There are conversations that we need to have before we invest. Yeah. So today's session, which is very quick, is about information you might need when you're deciding on investing your time or investing your money, right? So I'm going to put that into the comments. If you've got any questions on what I'm sharing, by the way, let me know. I did write an article, so this is not new conversations that I'm having. If you look on my LinkedIn, and also if you look on my Vee Roberts I2M page on Facebook, you'll see that I actually shared an article and a post a very long time ago, probably about 3-4 years ago, about 9 things you need to look for when you're searching for a coach or mentor, right? So discovery calls, you might do pre-qualifying questionnaires, you might do a survey, you may have conversations with people like now on a Q&A and then invite people to have conversations with you privately. But, before you buy from someone, have a look at how they're recruiting for people, because if it is a free-for-all, is that what you really want to be part of? For some of you, that might be what you want to be part of, but I know for me and the way that I work, I want to know that I'm in the right type of community and that everybody and their dog wasn't invited in, So just going back to the topic, I was saying about vanity metrics and how they can confuse us a little bit when we're making decisions, because a lot of us will look at, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 from influencers as, they are the people we want to work with. But you will soon quickly learn that sometimes those numbers are not genuine. Sometimes they are, and that's great, because as I said, my daughter runs a page right here on Instagram that she was able to get through using my tips, which she's openly said along with her business partner. She's used a lot of the tips that I share on my other page, insight2social, to build a following since August in excess of 13,000 people. And I know for a fact she didn't buy any of those. So it's absolutely... All right, it's reconnected me. So, as I was saying, on my page insight2social, I've shared lots of tips that can help you organically grow your audience and organically build a community quickly using my tips. So I'm not saying it's not possible. As I said, I'm aware of pages that I've helped, individuals that I've helped that have been able to grow very quick followings in short amount of time because they've implemented my tips. So, vanity metrics are sometimes not genuine, and that's all I'm saying. Just be mindful of that when you are building rapport with people. Don't let that sway your decision too much if you're someone who is wanting to invest a large sum of money. I'm talking today about the importance of making informed decisions around when you're going to invest in a coach or mentor, right? Making informed decisions before you invest in a coach or mentor. And this is based on a conversation I had with someone. Good afternoon. Give me a number 1 in the comments to let me know if you can hear me okay. I had a few of you on just now, and lost a few, unfortunately, because I actually had a poor connection. Well, I didn't, but that's what it said. I had a conversation this morning, let me just recap for those of you that have just joined, with a young lady who was stung by the sum of over £800, doesn't have a registered business here in the UK, but was missold ClickFunnels as a product. She was missold ClickFunnels. She doesn't have a registered business, and she was missold by someone who clearly doesn't have any heart, a product, good afternoon, to the value of £800, and she's still paying for that product because she has a monthly subscription, which, as I said to her, is probably on their affiliate program, right? Which is really naughty, and it really upset me. So I wanted to come on live and just share. If I've shared any particular tips with you today that resonate with you, or maybe you've got examples of being stung, please don't name any names if you've been stung by anyone that I know, or anyone, period, because I don't want to be caught up in any kind of entanglement. But let me know, sorry for that slurp there, let me know if you've ever been stung by any business owners and how that felt and what led you to make the decision that you made to invest with them in the first place. Because I think sometimes it's good to have these conversations. I was stung very recently in the last 2 years by an expert that I was referred to create something for me. And I was stung because this individual was extremely unprofessional. I wasted over £3,000 of my own money, hard-earned money, and I didn't even really have it when I started the project, but I thought it was something I needed. Threw it right away, out the window. So let me know if any of you have ever wasted money. I was sharing some tips. Let me recap. I said, get clear on what your objectives are. Make sure you understand what you want to invest in and why. Have a clear set of objectives. I then said, me personally, I'll turn away business. I don't mind, because I think it's better to turn away business than to recruit someone or to become friendly with someone and sell them something they don't need. And I know that's happening to a lot of you at the moment, because many of us are in a vulnerable state where we're signing up to things that perhaps we don't necessarily need, right? Let me know with the number 2 if you can hear me okay. All right, so I also said, think about where the individual started. Look at where they started in their journey. Where did they start? Is it similar to where you started? Because if it's not, if they had like a 10 grand loan and you started on a £50 budget, it's going to be difficult for you to get the answers you need directly from that person, okay? And that's the reality. They might be able to give you a few textbook answers, but you're going to need to do your research to check what their background is, right? I also said, look for social proof. So get clear on whether or not there's evidence that that person has actually delivered the results you're looking for. Again, that's important, because sometimes we will invest in individuals or companies or businesses or programs that they haven't even got the results we're looking for. Yeah? I will post this on YouTube. So if you're not getting it all, I'll post it on YouTube. Okay? And then I also said that you shouldn't be confused by vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are dangerous. Okay? So if you're someone who's, taken back by numbers, always scratch below that surface. And my final point is to make sure that you yourself are comfortable with the decision that you've made. So just 3 things to wrap up, and I will be posting this on YouTube. So 3 things to wrap up. Before you make a decision on spending any money, make sure you do your checks so you can make informed decisions. Make sure you ask questions so that you can qualify whether or not the individual or the company is ready to take on someone of your caliber, right? Because your money and your time is worth, a lot. And also make sure that you do have peace of mind once you've invested that money. If something feels awkward about it, then withdraw. Don't invest. Say no. Decline it. All right? This is really, really important. I want to stress to you that I'm not suggesting that any particular company isn't going to be a right fit. I'm certainly not suggesting that, you spending money is not going to be a sensible thing to do. But what I am suggesting is that before you invest, you consider the tips I've shared today. As I said, the lady that I spoke to has invested over £800 on a course that she didn't need. And that course was a course that was for someone who's perhaps already in business. She hasn't even got a registered business. And I know that many of us get stung with that. And that's what prompted me to do the live today. So if you're watching now and it resonated with you, then let me know in the comments. If you feel that you've got questions for me, then let me know in the comments. You can also direct message me as well. But I just wanted to share with you some of the tips that I have with regards to how you can make informed decisions before you actually spend time and money with an individual or company or business. All right, give me an emoji or a thumbs up. If it froze for you, you can go and watch it shortly on YouTube. So do make sure you check out my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/insight2marketing, and it will be uploaded there. All right, I'll put it in the link for you. And for any of you who have been wasting time and money in your business, do also make sure that you check out my 5-day coaching program. It's just £27, and you get the opportunity to work with me for £27 in a coaching capacity for us to look at how you can improve your branding and or your marketing so that you can start getting even better results. All right, now this is for business owners only, so if you haven't got a business yet, it's not going to be the right fit for you. But if you are interested in watching this video in full, or you've just caught the end of it, make sure that you do check out youtube.com/insight2marketing. And if you go on youtube.com/insight2marketing, if you subscribe and turn on notifications, when this video's out, you'll get a notification it's come out, and you'll be able to listen to all my tips from scratch. I think this will help someone. I hope it's helped someone who's watching now on the live. Let me know where you are watching from, and yeah, I'll go into it a bit more via my email this weekend. But it's important that before we make decisions, we just start getting clearer on why we're spending money. Because if you haven't got a business yet and you haven't got a business plan, nobody should be selling you ClickFunnels. Nobody. I don't care how many followers they've got. I don't care how many letters they've got after their name, or who they are affiliated with, or who they've worked with in the past, or which celebrity they've had associated with them. Nobody, if you don't have a registered business, should be selling you ClickFunnels. Yeah. Hi, London. How you doing? I know we had Australia in the house as well. Where are you watching from, peeps? Let me know. Do go and check out my latest post as well. Give that a like, and also leave a comment if you've had a personal experience related to anything I've shared today. I will pin the top 3 comments, so feel free to go over to the post on my news feed and leave a comment there if you can. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.